Hello, my name is Joe Saxton, and in today's vlog, what I want to talk you through is how you can raise the awareness of your charity. This is a vlog related to the written blog that we've been publishing at the same time, and we do it in both formats in order to try and give you a format that you might find easier, more acceptable to use. So what I want to talk you through today is the 5 ingredients, as I think it is, to build awareness of your organization. And the first one is to get the brand and the brand measures right. Absolutely at the heart of that is making sure that you have a memorable name. There's no point at all in trying to raise awareness of something that's really difficult to raise awareness of because nobody remembers it. It's easily confused with other organization. All those words like association and trust and society in UK, which don't make you the least bit distinctive, really aren't helpful in a name. On screen, you can see some great names for charities and some less good names for charities that aren't so easy to remember. The second thing is to have really distinctive visuals. Make sure the look and the feel and the colors and the strap lines of your organization stand out and make you different. It's no good spending lots of time and energy with a branding agency to do all that stuff just to look like one in a pack. You've got to have your visuals standing out. And if that's the visual side of things, what is the strategic positioning? Where do you have a distinctive approach to the world that you want the world to know about? And that's what I would call a strategic positioning. And it's really important that people know what your positioning is, what it is that you do that makes you different. And that's both in a strategic sense for your services, but also for your communications and your fundraising. Having put all that together, you've got to think about your brand messages. What is it that you want to say to the world? What is it you want the world to know about you and what you do? And then you've got to pump out those brand messages. And once you've got those foundations, think about what you're going to measure awareness of and work out using somebody like NFP Research's tracking services exactly what it is that you want to tell the world that you think is important to remember. Because it could be prompted awareness, it could be spontaneous awareness, it could be semi-prompted within a particular category like cancer or the environment and so on. And it could be other things as well that are bespoke to your organization. But make sure you know what you're measuring rather than waiting a couple of years and then going, how do we know we've made a difference? The second important ingredient is targeting that messages. And there are a number of ways you can target it. But the entire 60 million adults in the UK is really too big a group to be able to target all of that in one go. It's too big for all but the biggest charities. And that targeting could be by demographics. It could be young people, it could be men, it could be women, it could be young women, it could be young men, and so on. It could also be targeting by geography. It could be targeting by people's attitudes, how they see environmental issues, how they see animal welfare, and so on. And it could be targeting by their behavior. Do they actually use public transport a lot? Do they actually have somebody who's had experience of a particular medical illness? And the last area perhaps is slightly different, which is to reach people, to target them, not by you knowing who they are, but they deciding that you are an organization that they would like to talk to. The social media is great for that. It kind of puts out a fishing rod with a number of messages at the end of that hook to reel people in. The third ingredient is to get the organization coordinated, to make it sing in harmony, if you like. One of the ways to do that is to have bursts of activities. It might be 4 bursts across the year in which in a particular month of the year or a particular fortnight of the year, you're all saying the same thing. And that could be your services team, that's your fundraising team, that's your communications team, that's what's on your website, and so on, to make sure everybody's doing the same, rather than have a jumble of messages. And the reason for that is that people hear lots of things about the same issue from the same sources, they're more likely to remember it. Simple as that. Therefore, you've got to coordinate those teams and those departments to get them all to do that stuff. And that probably means you need to start in a lot of bigger organizations about 12 months in advance before they make their plans. And you may need somebody senior to crack heads together and say, you're doing this, mate, whether you like it or not in your department. And you also need to decide whether what you're going to do in those bursts is to talk about the charity or to talk about the cause. If you're in a crowded marketplace, you're more likely to want to talk about the charity. You want your particular contribution to be what people remember. And if you're the main organization, you may be happy to get people just to talk about the cause. The fourth area to talk about is how you become noticeable in the crowd. Too many charities have become a kind of corporate bland speak in which they put out things which really nobody has any interest in at all. They sound much more corporate. Yet you've got to remember what makes the social media work is individuals. You look, what you watch is about individuals. Very few companies, very few charities, very few organizations have big social media followings, but celebrities and social influencers and vloggers and all those people have millions of people following them because they are the brand. And the more that you can make your charity brand about individuals, whether that's on your staff side or about your beneficiaries, the better, because that's what people follow, that's what attracts people's attention. The more you can tell people stories of who it is that you help, is the more important and the more impactful it will be. So whatever you do, try not to talk in bland corporate speak. Try and make sure you're noticeable, humanize, simple, clear, bold statements, and also make sure you do speed over hierarchy. Don't have a system in which your chief executive has to sign everything off and so you're 3 days late doing it all, because that's the kind of thing that really won't make a difference to the quality of your communications, but will make a difference to how timely you are and how much you're saying things that are still in the news, still going around the viral world when you have finally got those messages out. The last area is to make sure that you know you're in it for the long haul. You don't really raise awareness of millions of people in other years. So look at a time frame of 3 to 5 years. Be realistic about what your resources you're going to put in it. But slow, strong, consistent over a longer period of time is much better than short, sharp bursts and then changing your mind, then doing something differently, then changing the brand, then having a new director or whatever it is, because that's what it is that somebody thinks. If you're going to raise awareness, it's a long-term thing. Apologies, my dog has decided she's a bit hungry, so I better go and feed her. I hope you enjoyed today's blog. There's lots more where it came from on the heyheyjoe.info website. Thanks very much, and I hope to talk to you again soon. For those of you who wondered who was making all the noise at the end of my vlog there, here she is. This is Elsa. She's 12 and a half. She's going to be 13 in September. And she doesn't like being on anybody's knee, but that's what all the noise was about. And I apologize for all of it, but it's real life here in the Saxton household, and the dog is hungry, so she needs to be fed. Thank you very much.